have to start recording again. All right. So I already did a recap of what you did the last time. All right, cool. So I was trying to like display examples of this. So I was like, don't worry about what I just did here, right? But I just want to show us what it's happening here. All right. So when, oh, oh, okay, cool. So when we check uh what we have, all right, we have 2 plus 6 equals to 8. 2 minus. So this is like uh the signs, all right. So Ezekiel, can you hear me? So this is like this.
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. So this is like those operators, right? So I hope you understand that already. So operators are just normally what they are in mathematics, the normal operators that you have in mathematics, all right? So those are operators. So you can perform arithmetic with your this thing. So the other ones, I would advise that you check that site that I give you. You will see them under operators, all right? So and I talked about assignment also. So that's assignment. So the next thing I want to talk about is data types. All right. So data types are what they are. Data. All right. So in programming, all right, we have data. All right. We were taught all those ones in our basic this thing. So we have. I will just leave this one here. I won't make example of those ones. So we have data types in JavaScript, all right, we have different types of data types, and we already saw one of them, which is number, all right. So we have number, all right. So an example of number, we have 8, we have 9, all right. It could be a decimal number, right? This is also called float in some other programming languages, but if you check the type of this data, it will still say number inside JavaScript, but there's a way you can check whether it is float, all right? So float is the same thing as decimal, right? But inside programming, it is not called decimal, it is called floating point number, all right? So that's an example of a number, right? We have what we call strings, all right? So string are basically what they are. They are strings. They are a combination of alphabet, a single alphabet, all right, or a combination of alphabet, all right. And if you want to declare a string, all right, so you want to say a variable of string, you set it to, you put it inside uh, quotation mark. Is either single quotation mark or double quotation mark, all right, and you say this is a string, all right. It could be one like this, and then it could be maybe it could be a character, all right. So if you do this, so it could be like this, all right. So this is an example of a string, all right. So I'll just set var num equals to 89, all right. I want to take note of how they are. This is inside quotation, this is not inside quotation, all right. So another data type that we already talked about number. Another one that we have is object, all right. This is a bit complex sort of, but it's not complex, all right. So this is how an object looks like. You put it inside parentheses, all right. So an object is basically used to group a set of data together, all right. So and then it's an object is uh, a group of data with key value pair, all right. So they are key value pair. So basically you have a key name, and then you have a pair. Since a string, we put Israel, all right. And then we have, let me just put John Doe, all right. And then you have a value of age, and then you have maybe like 78. But since it's a number, you can just do number like this, 78, all right. So this is an object. This is an example of an object, all right. So that's an object data type, right. So I hope we understand those basic data types. So those are the example of basic data types that we have in JavaScript, all right. So another one that we want to talk about is uh, array, All right. So an array of elements is a list of elements. All right. So and this is how you do an array. You put it inside a square bracket. All right. And then you have list like this. All right. So an object is key value pair inside parentheses. An array is a list inside what inside square braces. All right. So this is an array. All right. So if you have if an element and you want to check the type of that element, you can use a function that is already inside JavaScript, right? So I was talking about those ones yesterday, 2 days ago, right? You can use those ones to check the type, all right? So you can do console log of type of, all right? So type of, then you put the element there, right? Type of number, okay? So this is type of number, all right? Now, so when you save this, let me just, let me comment all these ones out, all right? So comment this guy out so that we can only see that. And then when you save it, okay, and then you check, you see that the type is number, all right? So when you check type of this console log type of, all right, and then you do string here, and then you save. Let me just do this console log type of, all right, and then obj, and then the last one clg type of uh, array, and then you save it, all right, and then you check what we have. You see that we have number, we have string, we have object. So an array is actually in JavaScript, it's seen as an object, but in other programming language you can see it as it's called an array, all right, but this is how you declare them, all right. So I hope you got that. So I think there are actually other data type. We have null, we have undefined. So undefined is when you declare a variable, all right, and then you don't assign a value to it, all right. So it's as the name is. So let me just comment these guys out. All right. So we have undefined. All right. So I'm coming. I need to check something. All right. So undefined is so when you declare a variable of this and then you declare it, but you don't put any value into it, you don't assign it to any value. If you check the type of this, it will give us a type of undefined. All right, so that's a type of undefined. There's another one to called null. All right, so null is when you have when you, well, null is when you have, you don't really see it like this, but null is when you declare when there's nothing inside a variable. All right, so you have a variable and there's nothing inside of it. All right, so it's called null. Okay, so I will move on from here. All right, so do you understand data types now? Do you understand data types?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. So I already talked about string. I talked about number. All right, another one I want to talk, yeah, that I should not forget that I should talk about is Boolean. All right, so it's called, yeah. The reason why I skipped those ones is we have a Boolean. All right, so Boolean is two. So Boolean is either true or false. All right, so when you want to check whether something is true, is either true or false. Okay, so you can set bool1 equals to true. All right, so you just do it like this. You don't put it inside parentheses, just set it to this. So this is var. All right, so and then we have bool2 equals to false. All right, so this is it. Okay, so JavaScript already understand what this is. This is Boolean type, all right? So I have to look for a way to join all these videos together, right? So my network just cut me off, all right? So I will just continue. So I was talking about bool, all right? So, all right, cool. So we have Boolean, all right? So, and I was saying that I think that's basically the, I think, let me confirm. So I think I've talked about the other ones, all right? So I've talked about the ones that you need to know for now, all right? So I hope you understand all those data types. Hello?
Yes.
Okay, all right, cool. My
Yes.
network is still giving some, still playing some tricks. I don't know that. All right, so um, the next thing that I want to talk about is functions. All right, so this is very, very important. All right, so look at function this way. You know, you already have all those ones that we've talked about up there. All right, so let's now say that you want to group some data together. I will show us how a function is. So you want to group a some set of codes together, all right, so that you can run it continuously, all right, so that you can reuse those set of code without writing them twice. So imagine that uh, I want to add two numbers together, all right. So I'll have a console log, then so let's say I have var num1 equals to 9, and then var num2 equals to 10. All right, so let's say I want to add these numbers together, and then I have this is just a basic example, and num2. All right, so I will have to like do this again. All right, I will have to like write these three lines of code. So let's say I want to write some other I want to add some other numbers together. All right, I will have to have these guys again. All right, so functions allow us to write code that we can reuse. All right, so and how do you define a function? You do the function keyword, right, and then you have this set of parentheses, all right, and then you have curly braces. All right, so this is the basic way to declare a function. There are other ways, but just know this for now. So this is the basic way to declare a function, right? So what is usually here is called what we call let me confirm. Uh, they are called parameters, all right? So they are called parameters. So parameters are what we put here, all right? So parameters are basically what we pass into your function, all right? I made a mistake. My network is not good. I don't know why. So you have function, and then you have the name of the function. Sorry about that. You have the name of the function, right? And then you have the parameters, all right? So you can have num1 here, right? And then num2. Okay. So what you now do is you now do console log num1 plus num2. And then you save this like this, all right? So anytime you want to add two numbers together, you can just do add, and then you pass it. Since you have these parameters, these two parameters, right? Then you can now pass 4 with comma and 7, right? So I've saved this, so it will automatically run. So when you check this guy, you see what we have there. We have 11. 4 plus 7 is 11. But let me just, so that you can understand what's really going on here, let me just comment this guy out. All right. So when you check what we have now, you have 11. All right. So anytime you want to add two numbers together now, so what you just do is you call the add function, right? And then you pass the number that you want to add inside, and then you save it. Okay. So and then when you check what you have 17. All right. So instead of writing these three lines of code to add your number, all you just have to do is one line of code, right? So you can have different functions like that. Okay, so that's function, right? So JavaScript on its own already have some various functions, like built-in functions. They are called built-in functions, all right? So we have you can read more. I really don't have time to be explaining too much, but I hope you understand that. So you have a function, the keyword function, all right, and then you have the name of the function that you use to reference the function anytime you need it, and then you have the parameters. The parameter can be one, it can be two, it can be three, it can be four, it can be as many as you want, all right. So and then when you want to call the function, all right, you use the name of the function, okay, and then you pass in the parameters, okay. So if you have any question, you can just ask me so that I won't overflog the issue, all right. So the major use of function is so that we can reuse our code, right, so that we can reuse our code. And I said JavaScript has some functions built into it, right. So the major use of function is so that we can reuse our code, right. So you can basically write more complex functions than that, all right. So you can add more complex function, okay. So um i I think we still have a lot of time, all right. So it's not really going to break time for us because it's only two of us that are here. So if there are only two people in a meeting, you can have more than 40 minutes on Zoom, all right. So I well, okay. So I'll just talk about objects briefly, okay. So I'll talk about object again. So I talked about objects. So objects can actually, oh, awesome. So at this point, let me just, so let's do objects deep dive, all right. So before we do this now, I want to show us something, right? So this code, this code I'm using currently, I will upload it to GitHub so that you can always make reference to it anytime you need it, right? So before I continue to object deep dive, all right, I will show us how to use GitHub, how to get started with GitHub, all right. So like how to use GitHub to, if you want to push your code online, all right. So that I think I should just show us that. So you go to your GitHub account, all right. So this goes to my GitHub account basically, all right. Then you create a new repository, all right, and then you name it JavaScript intro class. Or basically, let me just do so that in case I want to upload the other code that we wrote, all right, and then we make it public and write. You see that this is optional, so you can write whatever description. So this is the code for our website development masterclass. All right, so and then just leave it as it is so that you don't confuse yourself, and just click on create repo. All right. So when you click on create repo, you have this like this without clicking anything. All right. So all you just have to do is, if there was a file inside, you would do all those ones and all those kind of things. Well, all you have to do is copy these last two lines. All right. Copy this last, no, copy this last three lines. All right. But these are the last three lines that we will run. Okay. So basically, what you just do is, assuming that I assume that you already set up GitHub on your machine. You already put your username. You already put your everything and everything like that. All right. So to confirm that you have Git installed, just do Git version. All right. And then it will, if it's write out something like this, that means that you have Git installed. All right. So you add Git to your this thing. So what you do is that inside this folder, you do Git init. All right, Git init, you click enter. All right, so it will give you this output that it has initialized a repo. All right, so when you just type Git status, all right, what you have something like this. All right, so you, these are complex stuff and all those, but they are not really complex actually. So basically saying that Git is not tracking this file. All right, Git is not tracking it. So how do you add these files? You do Git add, and then if you want to add a single file, you can type the name of the file. All right. and then you click enter. So when you do git status, all right, and then you have that this is already tracking this, but it's not tracking this, all right. So if you have a list of a lot of files and oh geez, I have 10 more minutes, so I'll just round up with this git stuff and then we'll continue from updates tomorrow because I have to join these videos together, the ones that cut in between, all right. So if you now go to this now, what is happening? All right, so if you have a list of files, a lot of files, and you want to add all of them, just do git add, then a full stop, and then you add enter. So when you check git status, okay, you have all these listed. Oh, I really hope I was sharing that. I hope I was sharing it actually. So when you go to, you now go back to this guy. So I've already done git add. So I've already added those files that are there. So what you want to do is after adding the file, you want to copy this. All right. So you want to copy this guy, copy, and then so I hope you are not confused. This is my terminal, all right? So you can open your command prompt or something, all right? So this is my own command prompt, sort of, all right? So this is like command prompt, right? And then you paste this guy inside, and then you click enter. So it will just give you something like this, okay? So commit is used, and this M flag is message. So commit is like you are making a stamp of it. You know, I said GitHub is used to keep track of your files, all right? So you are committing. When you commit means that you are saying that you are keeping a version, you are keeping that version, you are keeping the current version. So these admins that I've saved these files here, right? So if I create a new object, new obj, all right, and then I do all these and all this kind of, and then I do name equals to name, all right, and then I save this. You see that I've already added to this code, and then you do git status. So what is happening now is that this git is telling that, oh, you have modified your index.js file. All right. So if you if you quit this thing and you don't push this to you don't commit this file, that means you have not saved this version that has this. All right. So the version that it will still be saved on your git will be the one that does not have this. All right. So if you want to add, you just do git add, then you do like this. All right. And then you git commit. All right. And then this hyphen means message, and then you do added new object. So you can just describe what you did in that message, all right, and then you click enter. Okay. So then what you do, the next thing you do is that okay, what's inside chat? Oh, sorry, I wasn't sharing. Very sorry. So I will still recap before I finish. All right. So new share. Then I share my this. I hope I'm sharing this. Then you copy this guy. Okay, you copy it, all right, and then you go back to your terminal, all right, and then you paste this. So what you are doing is that, this is remote. What we are doing is that there's a version of Git on your system, right, and then there's another version on the internet on GitHub, right. I said GitHub is used for storing your repository, all right. So that's the version. So for you to link them together, you have to add the link to it. So this is the link. So you are doing git remote. Remote means something that is not on your system. Then you are adding it. You are setting the name to origin, all right. Then you are putting the link. Then you click enter, all right. So at this point, you cannot do git. So you go back. So let's just go back to our GitHub again, and then we copy this last one, all right. So you can read more on this command, all right. So you can read more on this command. So you just paste this inside, and then you click enter, and then you wait for it once to sign in. Just let me. So it's because I'm using GitHub, so I have to. I'm using this, and this is a new version of Visual Studio Code. So it's trying to like do some stuff. So I so I've signed in. Okay, so awesome. So Okay, so let me just run this again and see. So basically, I have to. So I want to sign in. Sorry about that. I should have. Okay. Okay, so when you sign in, like immediately you signed in on your system, you have this. So I've pushed this now, right? So if I go to my VS code, all right, so this is just all those confirmation that my guy was doing, right? And then you refresh it, you will see that your code that you had on your system is now on your GitHub, right? So and then anybody from anywhere can have access to the code, right? And then you can have access to that code. Okay. So let's say that I now want to let's say that I made changes to these guys, all right? So I do this, I do this, all right? So I did multi-land statement. Okay, so my time will soon be up or something, I'm not sure. All right, so I just want to do this. So you can just play around with this. You can download this code and then you can play around with it. All right. So I just want to comment all these guys out. Okay. All right. So this is like the last thing I will do. All right. So you have this. You have this. So you can just try and run this on your machine. All right, and see and just play around with the code. All right, so this is the function that we just did. Okay, so you save it and then you now, so what you do is you go back to your GitHub. All right, and then I hope I'm sharing. All right, so this is the last thing I want to do. So you do git add again with this dot sign. All right, and then you click enter, and then you do git commit. You set -m, write the message and you say on comments, if that makes sense. All right, you close it, you check the quotation mark, you click enter. It will tell you one file change, 41 insertions, 41 deletions. All right, and then you do git push. Now the reason why we can only do git push and not have to put this thing is because we added this flag -u in that other one that we did. All right, so you can just do git push without doing anything, so it will automatically push to GitHub. All right, and then when you check what we have and then you refresh this guy, you see that everything has already uncommented again. All right, so that's like a very brief overview of GitHub and how to push your code online and all those kind of things. All right, so if you have any question, you can just ask on the Telegram page and then we'll continue from there. All right, so Ezekiel, thank you. Hope you understand. Let me just ask that before we read. Do you understand, Ezekiel? At least the basic ones I covered. Do you understand this, girl? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, cool. So if you have
I
any,
do.
if you are rewatching it or you are playing with it and then you have any other issues, you can just let me know.
Okay.
So all right. So coming. Bye. See you later.
All right. Thank you.